thought I was going to breeze through security, but I got held up just because the guy in front of me. And he goes through the metal detector, and it goes off. And so they asked him, they're like, do you have anything metal on you? And he goes, I have keys on me, my keys. And we thought he was going to say like his knee or hip, you know, just old people have metal in them a lot. And he goes, keys? Do you think that would do it? You're like, I mean, I think that would be the #1 answer on Family Feud of what would set a metal detector off. Keys. I told him, I was like, look, let's try it with and without it. I'd love to know. You know, maybe they've been lying to us about this key thing. I've watched a lot of the documentaries that try to make you eat better. Like I watched Fed Up. And it's about all the food that I eat every day. There was nothing in it that I haven't had recently. You know that saying, like, I haven't had that in forever? I haven't said that in forever. There's nothing I haven't had. Airheads, that's usually something like, oh, are they still doing good? Yeah, they're doing great. They got more colors now. It's pretty fun, you know? So Fallon hit me up, and he wanted to go do... you know, he's like, I want to come to Syracuse and Albany. So, I mean, he was on the bus with us. I mean, dude, when he went out, Syracuse was bananas. Albany, I feel like some people might have heard because word got around town. We went to a frat party. They were celebrating Patty's Day early there. And so this one road, he's like, let's go crash one of these, you know, frat parties. So Jimmy gets out and it's just, oh, boom. It's like Mickey Mouse walking out. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
There's no one that's like, huh? It's just, it's the equivalent of Mickey Mouse coming out. Everybody's like, why is he here? There's like TikTok videos of it.
When Jimmy Fallon randomly shows up to her St. Patty's party.
I always say, but if you meet him, he's going to be what you want him to be.
Yeah.
If you can meet him, because you're not going to be disappointed.
Please put your hands together for Jimmy Fallon. Nate Bargatze is going to come out in a couple minutes, but I just want to say I've known Nate for about 12 years. I went to go see him at a comedy club. I said, who is this kid? He's got such a great delivery. And I go, something different. I go, we got to have him on the show. We had him on the show. He goes, thanks so much for having me because I'm trying to sell out tickets to this comedy club. I got 100 seats. I go, well, I hope it works out for you, man. Great.
A little bit of a letdown to see the guy you wanted to see. Who would have thought that? I can do that. That's how I like my shows to go. I'm like, when they come to see me, I want to be a letdown when I go out there.
You know, to be on the road with 4 headliners, it's just, it's a different energy. It's so fun, and I'm so lucky to be here this weekend. Hopefully they have me back.
People repeat stories quick. I bet the average person has 3 stories, like 3 good stories.
If I'm at a party,
it's more than I got,
and I say something that makes people laugh, I'll hit different groups at that party.
You go on tour with it at the dinner party.
Yeah, that's what my thing is for that party. And once I've hit everyone, I leave.
Yeah.
I can't do McRibs anymore. This is true. Vanderbilt University, they had a chemistry major a few years ago. She did a study on all the chemicals in some of the fast food, right? It made national news because she found an ingredient in McRibs also used to make exercise mats. That's true. That's so gross. And if you're in here tonight and you eat McRibs, you're probably like, what is an exercise mat?
You're a big enough act where even most people don't like how they look in photos, but you're big enough where it's worth it to them, even if they don't feel like they look good, to post it. I'm the type where the majority of people take pictures of me. I never see it because they're like, that's not worth it.
Because you don't look good in it.
Yeah, that's what I do. They're like, I look great.
There you go.
If we could crop him out.
Yeah. That would be, can you imagine if you see a picture that someone's using and it's from you after a show, but you're cut out?
A little bit of Brian's head.
Just see my arm.
It just says, we had a great time at the comedy show.
And I went to Shields to get shoes and
you went to where?
Shields.
Shields?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's a sporting goods store.
You ever seen Nate's comedy?
Yeah, I opened with it. They have a sporting goods store there called Shields.
Does that make sense?
Why have I never seen that?
Because it's regional.
But you've been on the road, I would think.
Yeah.
So I think you would see it.
Maybe I just didn't know what it
You're
was.
the
so I was like,
clientele.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shields.
I'm shocked that you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I can't wait
To be honest.
I can't wait
They
to
probably
go
sell
now.
your
Yeah.
album there.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Go check it out.
All right.
You're gonna walk in. All the mannequins look like you.
Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When I did my sleep test to find out if I had sleep apnea, I stayed up all night into the appointment because that's what they tell you because you want to be able to fall asleep when you do the sleep test. And then I showed up, and it turns out the appointment was to schedule the sleep test. So I had stayed up all night for no reason. Dude. And I was so tired when I got there. And they go, "Yeah, we'll do the sleep test on Thursday." I was like, "Oh my god, what a moron!"
I was about to say because I had to go there and stay the night and sleep.
Yeah, I don't know what I thought. I was like, it's weird that I'm doing this at 2 p.m. Did you ever have the cowl thing around the nose?
No.
Was that a septum piercing?
Yeah. Now only eyebrow and the nipple.
Okay.
Yeah,
That was it.
maybe two. Yeah, two of the
Yeah.
worst.
I actually got real drunk and I lost the ring one time and I wanted to get it, go buy a new one the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So I broke off a piece of a broomstick and stuck it through. I didn't want it to heal up in the night, so I stuck it through.
God.
You mean a bristle from
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh.
And I woke up in the morning, I had blood all down my face.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I was hungover with blood all down my face.
Splinters.
Yeah.
Been to a dog bakery. I've been to a dog bakery in my life. And this wasn't in, Beverly Hills or like Miami or something. You feel like they would have something like that. And this was in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. And if you don't know where Mount Juliet is, it's fine. But I bet you can tell that doesn't sound like a town you would drive through going, I bet they have a pretty good dog bakery here. I went in there, and no one was in there. The lady was looking at me like, are you here to buy this store for me? That was her only hope. I talked to her. She had some time on her hand, excited to talk. And she said her and her husband bought the store for their 27-year-old daughter who graduated from college with a degree and came out of college and said, I want to own a dog bakery. I want to make cakes for dogs. Which if I asked my 6-year-old what she wants to do when she grows up, I think she'll tell me she wants to make cakes for dogs. And I'm going to tell her that she can do whatever she wants to do, hoping she doesn't turn 27 and go, let's talk about those cakes for those dogs. And maybe they're usually busy. Maybe I was on there on a slow dog birthday day. I don't know. All right? She told me everything was organic, and I was like, that's good. That's what I like to hear. All right? This is for that dog that's outside licking gum off the sidewalk right now. And if anybody deserves organic food in our house, it's not this little girl. I'm not going to waste it on her. It's for that dog that's wandered out in the highway because it doesn't know what cars are. Once I was checking a bag, and the guy by the counter, he sees my ticket says Nathan, the license says Nathaniel, and he was like, this is not good. He goes, these names don't match. And I was like, but they match, right? Like, you can see the leap that we took to get from one to the other. And he was like, but they're not the same. I was like, but they're the same. And I'm realizing he cannot find out people call me Nate at that point. I mean, he can't handle that. He's gonna call the police over to be like, there's a guy with 3 names trying to fly right here. If you guys want to just shoot him from over there or something. So I was like, what do you want me to do? And he goes, you should go home. That's all I honestly said. I said, look, I'll give you that those names don't match. But what I think is gonna help a ton is the picture on the ID. Something that I've always loved that they did. And I think with 70% of that name matching and 100% face, it's 170%. I think I'll get through it. Here's what I'm doing for, my daughter's future environment is what I decided to do. They say we won't have water. So I put a bunch of buckets outside to collect water. And when she turns 18 and she's like, do I get money? I'm like, something a little better than money. I bet you've always wondered what those buckets we're doing outside. Well, they're all yours. And that's for your kids and their kids. Everybody gets a bucket of water. No, look, guys, all seriousness, though, global warming, we gotta stop it. Or more of it. I don't really know which way we want to go, but it can't stay warmer. I know that. It's got to be one or, something's going to happen. Something can't stay where we're at. So go. I don't know what direction you want me to just go. It's supposed to be a clean show. I'm bringing this filth into it. I don't say the word sucks. Like, this sucks. I don't, because that was a very bad word in the 80s. And look, I'm sorry to say it now. My dad took us to see the first Karate Kid at the movie theater, and they said sucks in it. And right when I heard it, I looked at my dad and I go, what kind of trash you bringing us to? I was not allowed to watch anything. I mean, when they made The Simpsons, it was like, I guess they're just showing R-rated TV shows now. She does whatever she wants. She turned 18 and got a tattoo. And I was like, well, you're going to get in pretty big trouble when they find that out. And she goes, I'm 18, I can do whatever I want. I go, yeah, well, I'm 28, and I'm still hiding wine, so I don't think you can. Pardon my language, but I think it stinks what's going on. I think it stinks. And that's claustrophobia. It just kind of ruins everybody's time. It's what's funny, the panic of claustrophobia is pretty funny, though. I mean, it's not funny when it's happening to you, but how quick you go from normal to just an insane person is just, it's all at the same time. So it's all kind of new to me, so I forget I have it. And I'll put myself in a situation and I go, there it is. I got an Uber once with like 7 people. And so we get in, I'll get in the 3rd row trying to be a good guy. And I climb in the back, they put all the seats up, and it just starts hitting me. And I mean, I'm back there, you're like, just trying to be normal, you're not talking. And then you just go, hey, you think you could roll the window down? You know what? Can everybody just get out of the van real fast? We're just driving down the interstate. Hey, could y'all crack the window? Do you mind if I drive the Uber? You think I could drive it? And those marriage fights are great because they're all very dumb. I would say 90% of them are dumb. 10% the cops show up. But we got in a fight once over chocolate milk. We didn't talk for 24 hours. What happened is I brought chocolate milk home, and she was like, why did you bring it home? And I was like, you're supposed to drink it after you work out. And she was like, that's not true. And I was like, well, there's a commercial on TV. They probably looked into it more than you did. So I decided to listen to them. And she said, that's just the milk people pushing chocolate milk. And I was like, you don't even know what that statement means. You don't know if there's milk people. And I think chocolate milk's doing fine. I don't think they're sitting on barrels of it. And they're like, we got to make up a lie. We got to get rid of this chocolate milk. She went to college, all right, and I did not. But she did not study chocolate milk. When is it good and not good for you? To be fair to her, though, I do not work out. So, but I was probably going to start, and I needed to get all this stuff there. Do you ever get in those fights, like you'll be at home, like you and your spouse, and you guys are not talking to each other, and you're in the house together, no kids, the house is quiet, and you just stay on opposite ends, and then you pass each other in the hallway? That's like the funniest part of it, because you don't live in a mansion, you have one hallway. And you just didn't time it out right, and you just have to walk by each other like strangers. You're like, oh, excuse me, sorry, yeah, no, go ahead. She'll be watching TV, I'm like, ma'am, are you watching this? I couldn't tell, I was gonna change it if you weren't watching it. We're just not good. Guys are not good at marriage, all right? It's not our fault. We weren't prepared for it like women are. Your whole life is built just preparation for marriage. Look at every toy you played with. When you're a baby, they give you a baby doll. So they give you a baby when you're a baby. You don't even know you're alive yet, and they're like, look, I would probably start figuring this out. Like, this is where it's going. Then they give you Barbie and Ken. They live in a little house together, and that is where you learn how to make drama. Then you would play house, like you would like fake vacuum. Just fake vacuum with your friends. That was awesome. And it's weird, because like when I see my wife vacuum now, I'm like, she is living her childhood dream. She's made it. As a guy, we don't have any of that. What do we play fort? You got to keep everybody out of where you are, especially girls. The only toys we had were Transformers and Ninja Turtles. Those are not even real things. None of them had wives. They weren't married. I never played with my Ninja Turtles, and I had them going to fight Shredder. And then Michelangelo was like, hey, can y'all give me 2 seconds? My wife just showed up, and she looks furious about something. What do you want from me? And she's like, what are y'all doing? What's that April skank doing here? You're like, listen, she's a reporter. I got in trouble with my wife because, like, on her last birthday, I got her an oven. All right, pretty nice oven. Take it easy. And the reason I bought an oven, because, like, I know, like the vacuum, her other favorite toy as a kid was the Easy Bake Oven. So to go with her big girl vacuum, I got her a, like, grown-up adult oven. Like, there was heart behind it. Like, that's not, that's not impressive. If she came home and bought me a truck and it turned into a live robot, I would lose my mind. Freak out. One of the best fights we got in, the fight wasn't good, just ridiculous fight, was over the saying one fell swoop. Just over this saying. And if you're a newlywed, you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. You're right, it doesn't. This is a double-digit married fight. This is when you've already done all the dish fighting or the putting your clothes away fighting. This is when they're trying to mentally break you. They got you almost how they want you, and this is the one that sends it over the edge. My wife, she wanted to go visit her parents one weekend, and her parents are divorced, and which has been hardest on me, to be honest. That's something people don't talk about, When you marry into the divorce, they divorced because of her, not me, so why do I have to go to 50 different houses? So she wanted to go visit her parents, and she said, I want to do it in one fell swoop. Now, I've never heard my wife say the phrase one fell swoop. We've been together 20 years. She's never said it. And it felt like someone that day told her, hey, you should start using one fell swoop more. And she goes, I'm about to call my husband. And goes, perfect. Use it 40 to 50 times on him. So she calls me and she goes, I want to go visit my parents and I want to do it in one fell swoop. And I go, all right, let's do it in one fell swoop. She goes, I want to do it in one fell swoop. I go, let's do it in one fell swoop. Let's swoop it up. I'm down. And she kept saying it, one fell swoop, one fell swoop. Over and over again. And then when she went to describe this one fell swoop trip, she goes, we'll go to my mom's, come home, then go to my dad's. And so I just waited, and she didn't say anything, and I just go, that's not what one fell swoop means. And instead of possibly just being wrong, she goes, I know what one fell swoop means. I go, yeah, it doesn't sound like you do, all right? And we have the same last name. I can't have you out there in a one fell swoop conversation. What do you think two birds, one stone mean? Let's just go through them all. I don't know if you know any of these. She hangs up on me. So I get home, and when you walk home and you've been in a fight, and you're like, all right, how long is this fight? Is it happening still? Is it over? I don't know. I got to fill it out, She never uses words like sorry. I'd love to hear that. That's a word she definitely doesn't know what it means. And I say it all the time. I walk around the house with just a sack of sorries, just handing them out all day. I try to give her some, like, would you like to carry some of these? She's like, I don't have pockets, so I'm good. We didn't talk that whole night. We're just sitting there, our daughters, we're watching TV, eating, and I'm like, hey, your mom's crazy, right? And then she's like, did you do your homework, or you don't be dumb like your dad? And then your daughter's just like, are y'all lunatics? So I'm laying on the couch, and my wife just came over, and she kisses me goodnight, and then she went to bed. And that was it. That was I felt like it was her sorry, I guess. But she didn't say it. And so I was laid there, and I'm just thinking about it. And you think about it a lot because you're like, all right. Because you learn the longer you get married, sometimes it's just let stuff go. Who cares? And the next morning I get up, and I kind of still wanted to talk about it because we didn't talk all night, So I went into her, I was like, look, I got to tell you, it's just not what it means, And that got it going real good. But I felt so good about this argument, I thought about it all night. I was like, you got this one in the bag, man. You should bring it back up. I'm not trying to date her anymore. I'd like to win a fight. We're going to die together. I almost woke her up in her sleep. That's how much I was so excited. I almost just started shaking her going, it's not what it means. Our marriage almost ended in one fell swoop. So she runs everything because she knows everything. I don't know any stuff. I don't know how much money we have. Could not even ballpark it. I don't even know where it's at. And I don't even know how to get it if I had to get it. what bank we go to, I don't know. Like, you know, I can't get robbed because, like, if some guy's like, let's go to the ATM, you know, it's like, well, I guess we gotta wait for my wife to get here. She can't leave me because I wouldn't know how to get stuff, you know? Like, she can't even die. If she starts dying, I'll die so much faster than her because I don't know what to do. Like, I don't have to call her mom and be like, hey, did she ever bring up bank stuff to you at all? Did you ever talk about that? Or what did she do for a living? Do you know? What was her deal? Me and my wife fight a lot, like normal, you know, like normal fighting. It's easy to fight when you're married, I think. Marriage and prison are the two easiest places to start to fight. Everybody's really tense and on edge. You know, no one remembers why they got there. My wife will get mad like when I hang out with my buddies. She's always like, oh, you always have so much fun with your friends. You always laugh with them a lot. You know, you never laugh that much with me. It's like, yeah, I hang out with professional comedians. It's a pretty good time, you know? Like, they make jokes, new jokes every day. She doesn't make jokes ever. She makes a lot of lists. She does do lists, though. If I have to get my wife's coffee, she has to text me what she wants because I don't know how to pronounce like most of the words there. So I just show them the phone. I go, she wants this. And they're like, does she want it in Sweden? I'm like, guess we have to call her now, don't we? And I make them talk to her. I go, talk to a stranger's wife. Say what you said to me. I travel a lot, obviously, so she'll be at home with our daughter. We have a wonderful daughter, as you have seen. But I know it's hard because she's home and my wife has to be the mom and the dad and the good and the bad parent, you know, and I come home and I'm super fun or I'll mess up the routine. This is just stuff she tells me. And like when I go home, I'll go lay in bed with our daughter and then we get in trouble for talking. I'm not the one talking, by the way. But we get yelled at as if I'm the one talking. I do get it, because I don't think of the consequences with everything. Like, we have one dog. I would like another dog. My wife does not want another dog, because it's a lot. It's a lot to have two dogs, because you gotta open the back door and let two dogs out. So it's 2001. Obviously, 9/11 happens. If you're old enough, you remember when 9/11 happened, the whole country got very scared that there's gonna be more attacks. Well, we did as well in Wilson County. We figured they just went to New York, obvious next stop, Mount Juliet, Tennessee. And they are gonna poison our town's water. So they got all of us water meter readers to guard the water tanks. I really did this. I stood just in a dark field alone, waiting for the Taliban to show up. No weapons, no training. I'm a Walmart guy. I think I'm in the middle, you know? I'm not Kmart. I'm not Target, you know? I'm not old money. I don't think I'm better than everybody. I'm just right in the middle. You ever go to Kmart? Like, Kmart doesn't even look open when you go in there. You just walk in, you're like, you guys about to close? Are you getting looted or something? They're like, no, we're open. Are you? Are you gonna cut the lights on that side of the store? Maybe get some stuff, you know? Kmart looks like where you go buy stuff if you're about to open a new Kmart. If you needed shelves for your Kmart, you'd go in there. I rewatched the movie Sixth Sense. And I'm not trying to do a Sixth Sense joke. This is a 20-year-old movie. I also have to spoil it, but it's 20 years old. So if you don't know by now, I don't know what to tell you, you know? And don't be like, we're going to watch it tonight. We're gonna go to Blockbuster on the way home and so he's dead the whole time. And I don't know. That's, if you haven't seen it, it's a pretty big part of it. But for those that have, think about when you watched it. When we all saw this movie for the first time, none of us knew he was dead. That was the biggest surprise. we've ever seen in our life, you know? We just thought his wife wasn't talking to him for like a year. That made more sense to us than him possibly being dead. And I was like, when I watched it, I was like, what do they show him dying? Yeah, that guy shoots him with a gun. That's how the movie's starting. That's how obvious they're like, hey, he's dead. And we still watched it for 2 hours, just like, I know what this guy's going through, you know? This is a movie about marriage and how hard marriage is. Yeah, even if you get shot, it's your fault. My biggest concussion was when I was 12 years old. I fell down a cliff. And so one day I slip and fall. So my friend that I'm with, he goes and gets my mom. There was a guy fishing in a boat. And so he sees me and he gets me into the boat. And then he takes me over to some stairs, which he had to be like, why didn't he just use these stairs? I mean, they were right next to that cliff. Like, it didn't even make sense. So they carry me up. And my mom's in an ambulance in her pajamas. My dad, who I think everybody knows now is a magician, and he's doing a show in a full tuxedo. So when they get to the hospital, the doctor starts talking to my parents. I mean, my mom looks homeless. My dad's in a tuxedo. It's getting very advanced. I've been to a dog bakery. I've been to a dog bakery in my life. I went in there, and no one was in there. The lady was looking at me like, are you here to buy this store for me? That was her only hope. She said her and her husband bought the store for their 27-year-old daughter who graduated from college with a degree and came out of college and said, I want to own a dog bakery. I want to make cakes for dogs. Which if I asked my 6-year-old what she wants to do when she grows up, I think she'll tell me she wants to make cakes for dogs. And I'm going to tell her that she can do whatever she wants to do, hoping she doesn't turn 27 and go, let's talk about those cakes for those dogs. Of sorts. We had to put our dog down recently. And it's a tough thing to do, you know. Nothing was wrong with her. I'm just really busy right now. And she was very sick. That was a joke, all right? That was a joke, and she would have loved that joke, so don't you worry about it. That's the type of humor she had. She was a rescue. It's not your labradoodle humor, all right? It's a little darker. I remember nothing from school. People talk about history to me, and I'm like, I don't know when you guys learned that. I think we skipped all of this. I almost didn't graduate high school. I had an F in science. I was taking a class called science my senior year in high school. I mean, I had an F, and my dad went and talked to the teacher and just said, look, just give him a D. He's not going to do science stuff. And the teacher agreed to it. She was that confident I wouldn't touch the science world. We took ACTs, and I got a 17 on it. And if you don't know ACTs, I mean, 18 they're like, that's not good, man, but you made it. 17, they're like, are you enrolled in this school? Like, what are you doing? We were going out to Mount Rainier, and I was with a buddy of mine. And Mount Rainier it's the third biggest mountain in America. It's a good one to go to. I don't know who number 1 or number 2 is. But maybe one day it will be number 1, you know? Do mountains keep growing? I don't think we know that yet. So it's a good time to see it. It doesn't have the attitude of a 1 or a 2. My wife's always around, too, I feel. Just always, like, near, you know, especially about home. It's like I married a cat that I'm like, you just always on me. If I go to the bathroom, she's like, I'm going to paint the bathroom door while you're in there. I'm like, you couldn't do it later? No, I had all the time to do it. I thought I'd wait till you went in, and that's when I was going to start. If I eat something she doesn't approve of, she just pops up, man. I mean, I'll try to sneak it. I could eat an Oreo cookie in the attic at 3 a.m., and I would bet my life a light would cut on, and she'd be like, what are you doing up here? And if I questioned it, it was like, what are you doing up here? She's like, I'm always up here. This is when I do my attic stuff. She put Life 360 on my phone. That's so they can track you even when they're not near you. You might not even know you have it on your phone. It's worse than what the government's doing. I would rather the government track me than her. She just calls me, why are you at Krispy Kreme donuts? I'm like, look, I'm not gonna live like this, all right? If I want donuts, I'm not gonna lock my phone in a gym locker and go pay cash for donuts. I've done it, but I'm not going to do it every time. God forbid I go to a store she has a coupon for. I mean, I'll be walking into the parking lot just to get a call. Don't buy anything. I have a coupon. I'm like, do you think I'm going to come home and get that coupon? Is that what you think's about to happen? I'm going to try to pay more now that you called. I don't even know if Target allows that, but I'm going to try to negotiate up on this toothpaste. You better hope they don't ask me to round up. I'm rounding up. I hate coupons so much, and she's addicted to them. She will not let me leave. Like, I got a coupon. I'm like, I just feel so stupid. I'm buying deodorant, and I'm like, I don't have all the money, but I'm almost there. But I do have this coupon. One day, I hope to be able to pay full price. We are saving up as much as we can. So my parents are in their 60s, and when your parents hit their 60s, just so you know, you kind of realize that you go, all right, I'm in charge of this family now, you know? They don't give it up. They don't offer it away. They just start doing stuff that you're like, I don't, you know. We went to the store the other day, and we walked back to the car. We were in the store for an hour. We walked back. The driver's side door is wide open. He drove, opened the door to go inside, and just kept walking. He's been driving for 50 years. And I know cars are getting crazy, but one thing that stayed the same in all these 50 years is you got to open and shut that front door. My dad wore my mom's pants to a funeral. That was the day that I was like, look, we can't listen to this guy no more, you know? We got to go get him. He doesn't know what's happening. It usually starts happening when you start doing the holidays at your house instead of your parents' house. That's when it starts happening. And so my parents, once we did that, they downsized into a 2-bedroom townhome. So they still wanted to do Thanksgiving at their house, but they don't have the room for us. There's like 20 of us. It's like a college kid being like, you want to do Christmas in my dorm room? There's a table for 4, and then they have to put a train of TV trays and nightstands that just weaves down this hallway. I mean, you're sitting on stairs. We made the kids go eat in the car. We just go back in the car. You can't even eat inside. My mom didn't have ketchup. I was like, everybody just has ketchup. It just comes in houses. If I went to some alcoholic's house, he would have ketchup. His whole family would be gone. But I would say, do you have ketchup? He'd be like, I'm not that gone, man. I don't know. I'm trying to get in better shape and stuff. I don't know how to work out. Like, I should run it. Like, for me, workout should be like, let's just walk to McDonald's. That'd be like a good start. Like, maybe stand up and eat it. See if that does something. I choose 0. I tried to take an MMA, a mixed martial arts class. I made it one day. I don't know how to fight. I didn't want to fight. I thought it was going to be like just some guy making me punch a bag. And the first day I go in there, he just pairs me up with some 16-year-old kid that wants to fight for a living and wasn't raised by human people. And they're like, why don't y'all just go at it? And I was like, I think it's so we have different goals. Maybe that's why we should not go at it. I believe he's training for the Hunger Games. You know? I just want you to not be able to see my nipples through my shirt. So we should do levels. If I remember driving to do a gig at this, I was opening for my buddy and we're driving out there and my car barely worked at the time, and this was in New York, and it was the exit. I remember they go, we're the last exit. If you miss our exit, you're going to Canada. So there's the last exit in America. So they're like, don't miss this exit. Right. And it snowed, and my windshield wipers wouldn't work, and so you had to stop every now and then so I could see. And then we did it, and then we went up and did a show. It was like a 6-hour drive just to have a lady tell me that I wasn't funny. She just yelled it out while you're up there. She's like, and you know when you can't hear them, you go, what's that? What'd you say? Yeah. I make her say it twice. Right. Instead of just moving on. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't hear. What were you saying? Excuse me? She's like, you're not funny. Yeah. And I'm like, oh. And then afterwards, she came up and said, my husband said I shouldn't have said that. That was mean. And I was like, oh, well, thanks. She's like, I'm sorry. But she's like, but I honestly, I just don't see how you could even do this. She couldn't let it go. Homework's fun. First and second grade was awesome. Third grade, you're like, okay. They throw some stuff in, you're like, oh, all right. It's, okay. Learning it earlier than we used to, huh? I don't even know if that's true, but. She brought home Common Core math. That's fun. It's a new math they invented. No heads up, just give it to parents that never learned it. It's just a whole new. I mean, it's unbelievable. Why when they bring it home, you got to watch a 40-minute YouTube video on Common Core math. I don't even understand it. If you know it, if you don't know Common Core, it's just a new math. And the goal of Common Core is to use one sheet of paper for every problem. You just want to keep breaking the problem down. You put the problem at the top, and it just keeps going. And then what's even funnier is you see old math in the middle of it. As you break it down, old math gets in there, and you're like, oh, just do that at the top. I don't even know what we're doing. And it's not like old math isn't working. I mean, old math's doing, I don't get incorrect change everywhere just going, this stupid old math. It's a long way to get at the same answer. I told my wife, I go, it feels like if you knocked on my front door and I opened it, and you say, can I come in? And I was like, do you mind walking in and coming in through the back door? And you'd be like, does the front door not work? I'm like, no, it works. I use it. A lot of people still use it. But the new way is to go jump the fence and come in the back and meet me at this same spot. Well, even though I make fun of Common Core, I have learned stuff from elementary homework, which is embarrassing. I'm 41. My daughter's 8. Nothing should ever come out of her mouth that I'm like, what? What was that? I learned when to use a or an in a sentence. I mean, I didn't know that there was a rule in play. I thought you felt it out, you know? You just go, that feels right, and that's what you do. I do the same thing with a comma. I never known where a comma's supposed to go. If I feel a comma's coming, I try to get out of that sentence so bad. I mean, and if I can, I just put a comma and see if someone says something, you know? If they're like, is that a comma? I'm like, isn't my comma button has been sticking on my phone. Me and my wife fight a lot, like normal, you know, like normal fighting. It's easy to fight when you're married, I think. Marriage and prison are the two easiest places to start to fight. Everybody's really tense and on edge. You know, no one remembers why they got there. My wife will get mad like when I hang out with my buddies. She's always like, oh, you always have so much fun with your friends. You always laugh with them a lot. You know, you never laugh that much with me. It's like, yeah, I hang out with professional comedians. It's a pretty good time, you know? Like, they make jokes, new jokes every day. She doesn't make jokes ever. She makes a lot of lists. She does do lists, though. I have a daughter, and my daughter's name is Harper. So a lot of people ask, they're like, oh, did you name her after Harper Lee, the author of To Kill a Mockingbird? And, you know, I've never thought about an author a day in my life. So that never occurred to me. I mean, my middle name's Lee, and just never crossed my mind. I love having a kid. I love when kids cry. It's just innocent. I love how innocent it is. They cry over a tag in their shirt. And I mean, they're bald. Just, they don't like, it feels weird. And then, I mean, if you walk, like, is your house on fire? Like, I've never seen someone cry this much. It's over nothing. She's on her iPad a lot. You know, that's the hard part. You got to get these kids off. You don't want technology all the time. She just sits there on her iPad. She wants to be a YouTuber, which as a comedian makes me furious. She watches all these kid YouTube videos, and now she makes her own videos. It's just her sitting there going, hey guys, what's going on? Click the links below, subscribe, leave a comment. None of this is anywhere but my phone. I got 90 hours of this, not on YouTube. Me and her mom are the only subscribers. She just watches kids playing with toys. Like, that's what's crazy. It's not like a show. I'd be fine if she watched a show. She watches just a kid that's like, hey, you don't have this toy? I do. You want to see me open it? It's got 5 billion views. It looks like we buy her nothing. Like, we just show her, if you want to watch a kid have fun, but you're never going to have fun in this house. This old man walks up to me and goes, Olivia? He was looking for his elderly wife and saw me with no shirt on at a car that he does not recognize. None of this is enough to not make him say it. He was like, Olivia? I covered up, and I was like, what's that? And he was like, all right, honest mistake. I was like, God, that hurts worse than saying Olivia. I don't know who he offended more, me or Olivia. I think we could both have a word with him. I'd love to meet her. Inside a building, that's all you want, you know? One of the last, like, kind of bombs I had, I was doing it. So as comedians, we do a lot of corporate events. And I was doing this corporate event in Tampa, Florida. And it was for this guy. He ran Tampa's electricity or something. I don't know what anybody does. But he invented the electricity in Florida. So, Yeah, he's doing real good. He was a very nice guy. He's very generous. He was all his employees. He was raffling off 2 cars. He gave away a bunch of TVs, iPads. I mean, honestly, probably $100,000 worth of gifts he was giving back to his employees. Very nice. Well, I was one of these gifts that he was giving back. So in the middle of giving this stuff away, he stops and goes, all right, got a big surprise for you. Can't believe we got this guy to come here. And he brings me out. I mean, nobody's heard of me at all. I mean, they're all looking at it like, I think I could get this guy to come to my house. I mean, who is? I start doing my act. I do 1 hour and just 0 laughs. I mean, nothing. And I'm not doing new jokes. I'm doing the greatest hits. I told the iced coffee with milk story 3 times. I kept just doing it. I was like, all right, I'm going to do it one more time. I don't think y'all were listening. People were leaving. The guy that drove me asked someone that left, and he just goes, hey, is the comedy show almost over? And the guy goes, I don't even know what you're talking about. There's a guy giving a speech up there right now, so maybe after that. So we get done, and then the guy comes up. You know, I have to talk to him. And I was like, look, I'm sorry, man. I used to be able to do comedy, and I lost it. You know, it's over. And he was very nice. He goes, no, it's all right. Nothing's your fault. And I was like, all right, I don't know how that's possible. And he goes, well, when you were up there, I remembered that most of my employees do not speak English. And I was like, all right, yeah, they'll do it, you know. Maybe don't hire an English-only speaking comedian. No heads up at all. Not that I could have changed it up, but it just would have been nice to know, you know. All seriousness, though, global warming, we gotta stop it. Or more of it. I don't really know which way we want to go, but it can't stay warmer. I know that. It's got to be one or, something's got to happen. Something can't stay where we're at. So go, I don't know what direction you want me to, just go. Let's use this as a platform for global, guys. I felt like, as a spokesperson for all of Earth, all right? I think I'll give you a message that I don't think no one will give you. And I'm here to say that we're doing fine. So just relax. We're doing great, all right? I did some research. And I was like, let me look at the other planets. Let's see how good they're doing. And I don't want to, it's unbelievable. They're nowhere right now. I went up to this guy and I was like, hey man, do you guys sell hammocks? And he was like, what's a hammock? And it threw me off enough that I was like, am I saying it wrong? I was like, I think I'm saying it wrong because you know what it is. And I was like, is it hammock with a T? Does that sound right? Like, do you guys sell hammocks? And he was like, we're out of hammocks. We're out of them. It's hammock season. And I left, went to my car, Googled where to buy a hammock. And Google was like, do you mean hammock? I was like, I sure do, Google. Where were you at during all of this? I travel all the time. And if I fly Delta, if I buy a ticket through Delta's system, my name in their system is Nathan. And on my license, my name is Nathaniel. I do not remember making this decision. It's a big deal. You can't just change it. I've tried. I've asked Delta if they could change it, and they're like, we can't change it. And you're like, then I don't know. I don't know where we go from here, If you can't do it, who can do it? Is that why people call senators? Do they do it? I don't know. What you have to do, you have to mail your birth certificate in. Some moms give their children their birth certificates. I've never received mine. I thought I was the proof of my birth. And you got to mail it in. I've never been a big mailing in guy. I've mailed maybe 4 letters my entire life. I just never done it. Stamps make me nervous because I don't know how many you're supposed to put on. Where they're going to be like, you should put 1 more on. And they changed the price of stamps, and that's not in the news, You don't find that out on Twitter. You have to find out from old people. They're the only people that know. They keep up with it. They're like, stamps went up. You're like, okay. All right. Is it $100? Like, they're furious. They're like, is it $100 a stamp? It's 3 more pennies. So, I will never go through that process to get my name changed, so I just deal with it. And it gets my parents are getting older. So my mom, we had her go pick up our daughter recently at a friend's house, and I texted her the address. She drove to the wrong house. So she knocked on the door, another grandmother answered. Well, this is not good. This is like two dogs seeing each other through a fence. They're going to be there for a while, you know? So my mom, she knocks on the door. My mom goes, is my granddaughter in there? And that lady goes, I have 3 grandsons, so no solution. Just 2 grandmothers. Just, do you have stuff? I have stuff too. They talked for 30 minutes. It's a wrong door. I had to go get my daughter, then find my mom. I was in San Francisco, and I bet there's a bunch of fun coffee places, and I live in my dumb world that I just want this one little drink. So I go into a Starbucks, and I get to the front, and I was like, I'll take an iced coffee with cream. She goes, with cream? I go with cream. And then she goes, iced coffee with cream? I go, iced coffee with cream. She goes, with cream? I go with cream. And she said it one more time. She said, so iced coffee with cream? And at that point, I should have said, what's going on right now? Where are you at in your head? Because I feel like we're in 2 different places. But I was nervous, and there was people behind me, and I was like, cream or no cream? Honestly, I'll give you $20 if you let me leave right now. I cannot, this is the most I can talk about this. I don't even know what's happening anymore. So I paid. I go stand in line, you know, where you got to wait for your drink. There's like 5 of us waiting for our drinks. So she puts the iced coffee up there first, no cream. And I was like, whatever. I'll just do it myself, you know? Like, I don't like doing it myself, but I was like, all right, I'll just do it. So before I could get it, she's walked back with a can of whipped cream, and she's shaking it. And I'm just looking at it, like, thinking that's someone else's. I'm like, someone's getting whipped cream. That's fun. One of you guys are getting whipped cream? And I look down, and she starts spraying the whipped cream on top of my iced coffee. She just yells out, iced coffee, whipped cream, yells it out. The other 4 people, they turn their back, like they don't want you to accidentally think that's what they ordered. And I'm just left alone, like, that's what you thought I said over there? You don't think I would have said iced coffee with whipped cream? You think I'm just some nut job? It's like, I've had too many problems in this Starbucks, so I'm only going to use the words that I want and no other words. Iced coffee, whipped cream cup. And they didn't have a top for it, so whipped cream, it doesn't sink and become less embarrassing. It moves. It's like a buoy in an ocean that everybody sees. And I'm just walking through the crowd like, this is my favorite drink. I don't know if you guys drink this at all. Is anybody? Nobody does this? I'm surprised. And I walked outside and threw it away and tried again at a different. People always talk to me very easy too, or dumb. Like if I talk to a stranger, I can always feel it. And I think it's my eyes. I have big eyes, you know? And so I just get a lot of like, you still with me, man? And I'm just sitting there like, yeah, man, I'm listening. He goes, all right, I don't feel like you could be anywhere. Dumb guy. Just, I don't think it's pretty obvious. And I think, I've thought about like time travel. Like if I went back in time, knowing everything I know now, I don't think I would make a difference. I don't think you would even hear about it. If I went back to the 20s and I like saw some guy on like an old phone, I'd be like, hey, eventually they have phones you just carry in your pocket. And he'd be like, yeah, how do they do it? It's like, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's like a satellite or something. And they'd be like, what's a satellite? Well, I shouldn't have even brought that up then. I don't know how they're doing it. It's like a round metal dish or something that got to go pretty high in the air. I honestly don't think I could prove I'm from the future. I mean, they would want some proof, you know? Who's the next president? Oh, boy. My dad, too. My dad's, you know, my dad has surgery 8 times a year, probably. And he loves it. He loves it. He had surgery because he was addicted to Afrin, the nose spray. Look, I've been addicted to Afrin, the nose spray. If you don't know what it is, I would honestly tell you not to get involved. It's one of the best things I've ever been part of. Solves everything immediately. When I was on it too, my wife she'd be like, "What's that?" No, she'd hear one puff. What's that? I go, "Hey, go live like this." I ain't worked this hard not to do effort in my own home. Vanderbilt went to their first bowl game in football in like 20 years, in 2008. And so we all go to it. We're very excited. It's at Tennessee Titans Stadium. So me and a bunch of buddies get together. We go tailgate. We get cornhole, a grill. Like we're going all out. And my ticket was at will call. So I was like, look, I got to get my ticket. I'll be right back. So I go get my ticket. And before the lady gives it to me, she ripped it, which means you have to go in. And it was, a full 3 hours before the game starts. I was like, I don't want to go in yet, And she's like, you have to go. And I just walked in to just an empty stadium, 60,000 empty seats. I go to my seat. I don't even just go to I went to like the one I'm supposed to go to, like a loser. The players are like in jeans. They're not even dressed yet. I was like, I'm real excited for the game. I startled them. They're like, oh, I didn't even know anybody was in here. Did you go to Vandy? I was like, you would think with how early I'm here. But I also think if I went to Vandy, I wouldn't be in the situation that I'm in. I walked to the top of the stadium and just watched my friends tailgate. I just sat up at the very top. And I was like, I'm already in, guys. Yeah, I decided to save our numbered seats. Nothing was open. I stood in front of a concession stand like I was waiting for an iPhone to come out. Just that gate was down. I'm just already trying to figure out what I'm going to eat. And they came and opened it, and one side got stuck, and I helped them. I go, I'll get that. So I helped them open it. They're like, oh, do you work here? I was like, I've been here a little bit longer than you have. So I'm married. I'm still married, and thanks. Yeah. I like to say it, like I'm at the same job, just like, still work there. Yeah, right out of high school. Only job I applied for. My wife will tell me that she always says that I don't like the way she talks, and it's not her voice. I like the sound of her voice. That'd be a big problem, I think, if it was like, it's your voice. I just hate it. Just to go to couples therapy and be like, can you hear it right? Like, it's not, it's not fun. It's the information that she chooses to tell me at times. We took a trip to Florida, to Fort Lauderdale, and her and our daughter are flying from Nashville, where we live, and I'm flying from Detroit. We're meeting at Fort Lauderdale's airport. I have to find them when they land. So I called her because I was about to take off, and I was like, all right, what time do you guys leave? She goes, noon. And it was 11:30, and they're still at home. I was like, Laura, I don't know if you even know what an airport is. But if that plane was in our driveway, I don't think you could make it. And she said, that's what time we leave for the airport. Our flight's not till 1:30. And I was like, all right. So what do you think I wanted to know when I asked that? Is that what you thought the best time you could give me was a time that means nothing to nobody? What time did you go to bed last night? Just tell me that, and I'll just look up all the planes that land in Florida, and I'll guess which one I think you're on. She said, I'm sorry I don't talk the way you want me to talk. I'm like, I want you to talk like a regular person, all right? Like you've been around people before, We didn't talk in Florida, I'll tell you that. She's good at not talking to me. She can go a long time. She could do her whole marriage career. Marriage fights are great because they're all very dumb. I would say 90% of them are dumb. 10% the cops show up. But we got in a fight once over chocolate milk. We didn't talk for 24 hours. What happened is I brought chocolate milk home, and she was like, why did you bring it home? And I was like, you're supposed to drink it after you work out. And she was like, that's not true. And I was like, well, there's a commercial on TV. They probably looked into it more than you did. So I decided to listen to them. And she said, that's just the milk people pushing chocolate milk. And I was like, you don't even know what that statement means. You don't know if there's milk people. And I think chocolate milk's doing fine. I don't think they're sitting on barrels of it. And they're like, we got to make up a lie. We got to get rid of this chocolate milk. She went to college, all right, and I did not. But she did not study chocolate milk. When is it good and not good for you? To be fair to her, though, I do not work out. So, but I was probably going to start, and I needed to get all this stuff there. Do you ever get in those fights? Like you'll be at home, like you and your spouse, and you guys are not talking to each other, and you're in the house together, no kids, the house is quiet, and you just stay on opposite ends, and then you pass each other in the hallway. That's like the funniest part of it, because you don't live in a mansion, you have one hallway. And you just didn't time it out right, and you just have to walk by each other like strangers. You're like, oh, excuse me, sorry, yeah, no, go ahead. She'll be watching TV, I'm like, ma'am, are you watching this? I couldn't tell, I was going to change it if you weren't watching it. It's the silent treatment. The silent treatment is, it's a very common thing. Everybody knows what it is. I think women are just born knowing it. I don't think you're taught it. I don't think it's like, my mom did it and her mom.
The very funny Nate Bargatze.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. It is, yes, the draft is in Nashville. It's very exciting. I like it. I'm from here, if that matters. All right. I'm a big football fan, and I've realized how lazy I am by watching football. I was watching a game, and one team kicked off to the other team. Right, I got up to go get something to drink, and right when I got up, one team kicked off to the other team. And before I could get back, the guy ran a 100-yard kickoff return, and I missed it. So that guy ran 100 yards before I could get 3 to maybe 4 yards. He also had 11 people really trying not to let him run 100 yards. I didn't even have an ottoman. It was wide open. I need to get in better shape. I should do something, you got to do something. But I realized recently I like to golf, and I would go golfing on the road. And one time I was golfing, and I was hot, and I was in the parking lot, and I wanted to change shirts before I got in my car. So I'm standing at the trunk of my car, and I take my shirt off. I have no shirt on, and this old man walks up to me and goes, "Olivia?" He was looking for his elderly wife and saw me with no shirt on at a car that he does not recognize. None of this is enough to not make him say it. He was like, "Olivia?" I covered up, and I was like, "What's that?" And he was like, "All right, honest mistake." I was like, "God, that hurts worse than saying Olivia." I don't know who he offended more, me or Olivia. I think we could both have a word with him. I'd love to meet her, though. I'll tell you that. I'd love to see her and be like, "All right, I get it." Like that was an honest mistake. I do travel a lot. If I fly Delta, if I buy a ticket through Delta's system, my name in their system is Nathan, and on my license, my name is Nathaniel. I do not remember making this decision, but it's a big deal. You can't just change it. I've tried. I've asked Delta, and they're like, "We can't." And you're like, "All right, I don't know where we go from here. If you can't do it, who can do it? Do you call a senator? Is that what senators do? I don't know. How high do I have to go?" What do you have to do? You have to mail your birth certificate in. Some moms give their kids their birth certificates. I've never seen mine. I thought I was the proof of my birth. And And you got to mail it in. I'm not a big mailing in guy. I've mailed maybe 4 letters my entire life. Stamps make me nervous, you know. How many do you put on there? I don't know. And they change the price of stamps, and that's not in the news. You don't find that out on Twitter. You have to find out from old people. They're the only people that know. Yeah, they'll tell you. They're like, stamps went up. You're like, okay. And they're furious. You're like, is it $100 a stamp? I've never seen you that mad. So I will never go through this process to get my name changed, so I just deal with it. And it gets brought up. I was checking a bag once, and the guy behind the counter sees my ticket, says Nathan. The license says Nathaniel. And he was like, oof, this is not good. He's like, these names don't match. And I was like, but they match, right? I mean, you can see the leap that we took to get from one to the other. And he was like, but they're not the same. I was like, they're the same. And I mean, at this point, I was like, if this guy finds out people call me Nate, he's going to lose his mind. Like, he's going to call the police to be like, there's a guy with 3 names trying to fight. Like, if you guys want to shoot him or something. So I was like, what do you want me to do? And he goes, you should go home. That was his honest. He's like, I mean, I can't believe you've made it this far. I said, let me try it. Shouldn't I just try it? You know? I was like, look, I'll give you that those names don't match. But what I think is going to help a ton is the picture on the ID. I mean, I think with 100% face, 70% of the name, that's 170%. I think I'll get through. And he was like, look, man, I get it, all right? He was trying to relate to me. And this is honestly what he said. He was like, my name's Joseph. That's what's on my license. But if I buy a ticket under my nickname Bart, they're not going to let me through. Those are 2 different names. I was like, don't act like we're the same. I am married as well, and it's fine. You know, you just do it. That's what my wife said. So just get through it. This is what marriage is like, you know, just one person talking and the other's like, I'm going to get out of here. My wife she always tells me that I don't like the way she talks. And it's not the sound of her voice. I like her voice. I think that'd be a big problem if I was like, it's your voice. I just hate it, you know? To go to couples therapy and be like, can you hear it right? Like, it's not fun. It's the information that she chooses to tell me at times. For instance, we took a trip to Fort Lauderdale, and her and our daughter are flying from here, Nashville, where we're from. And I was flying from Detroit. We're meeting at Fort Lauderdale's airport. I have to find them when they land. So I called her because I was about to take off, and I was like, all right, what time do you guys leave? And she goes, noon. And it's 11:30, and they're still at home. I was like, Laura, I don't know if you even know what an airport is. But if that plane was in our driveway, I don't think you could make it. And she goes, that's what time we leave for the airport. Our flight's not till 1:30. And I was like, okay, all right. So what do you think I wanted to know when I asked that? Is that what you thought the best information you could give me was a time that means nothing to nobody? What time did you go to bed last night? Just tell me that, and I'll just look up all the planes that land in Florida, and I'll guess which one I think you're on. She was like, I'm sorry I don't talk the way you want me to talk. I'm like, I want you to talk like a regular person, all right? I don't know if... We didn't talk in Florida, I'll tell you that. All right, thank you guys very much. I really appreciate it.
Nashville, you made that. You made that person, Nate Bargatze. Good heavens.